Welcome to another Demonic Sweaters live stream. We're going to get started here in a little bit, but before we do, be sure to check out my record label, which is anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. This is the best way to support what I do here on this channel. You can go there and pick up something by Demonic Sweaters or Minnesota or basically anything on the entire label. We sell CDs, vinyl, t-shirts, and lots of cool merch that you can check out there, so that's anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. Oh, by the way, did you know that I teach drum lessons? If you're interested in learning more about drum lessons, message me on Instagram at demonic_sweaters. Did you know that almost all of Demonic Sweaters music is available on all the streaming services? You can check it out there if you don't want to buy something. By the way, have you subscribed yet? Please do. Do you want to try to play drums to some of these songs by yourself? You can pick up drumless versions of all of these songs you hear on my streams on the drumless library, which is available at anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. It currently has 33 songs for only $15. Each song has the BPM and the time signature listed, so all you have to do is drop them into your DAW of choice, and you can play along just like I do on these streams. That's only $15 for 33 songs. That's a lot of content to practice to. You can also pick up individual songs for $1 a piece, but I highly recommend picking up the full version because every time I add new content to the drumless library, you'll get that 100% for free. All you have to do is return to anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com and you can download all the new songs once you purchase the full-length version. Again, you can pick up the drumless library at anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. It's available exclusively there and only there. And please stay tuned. Today's stream will be starting shortly. Welcome to another Demonic Sweaters live stream. We're going to get started here in a little bit, but before we do, be sure to check out my record label, which is anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. This is the best way to support what I do here on this channel. You can go there and pick up something by Demonic Sweaters or Minnesota or basically anything on the entire label. We sell CDs, vinyl, t-shirts, and lots of cool merch that you can check out there, so that's anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. Oh, by the way, did you know that I teach drum lessons? If you're interested in learning more about drum lessons, message me on Instagram at demonic_sweaters. Did you know that almost all of Demonic Sweaters music is available on all the streaming services? You can check it out there if you don't want to buy something. by the way, have you subscribed yet? Please do. Do you want to try to play drums to some of these songs by yourself? You can pick up drumless versions of all of these songs you hear on my streams on the drumless library, which is available at anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. It currently has 33 songs for only $15. Each song has the BPM and the time signature listed, so all you have to do is drop them into your DAW of choice, and you can play along just like I do on these streams. That's only $15 for 33 songs. That's a lot of content to practice to. You can also pick up individual songs for $1 a piece, but I highly recommend picking up the full version because every time I add new content to the drumless library, you'll get that 100% for free. All you have to do is return to anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com and you can download all the new songs once you purchase the full-length version. Again, you can pick up the drumless library at anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. It's available exclusively there and only there. And please stay tuned. Today's stream will be starting shortly. Well, hello, everybody on YouTube, Twitch, and FC2. This is Justin, aka Demonic Sweaters, here with another live stream. Weekly live streams here on the Demonic Sweaters network, with a lack of a better thing. Yeah, I've been doing this for about, it's already been like a couple of months, doing live streams every week. And this is the 10th one. So I guess it's been, a month and a half. Just about, or 2 months, 2.5 months, a month and a half, I can't count. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing these things. I think I've definitely got, if you go back and watch the first one, you can see quite a bit of an improvement from, video and audio quality and just performance-wise too. Like the first few, I was like basically practicing on air. Hey everybody, I see some of you guys out there already. Jake K, Mo Ivanglaive. What does that say? Mo Ivanglaive? That sounds like something like Jerry Lewis would say. Mo Ivanglaive! McGlaven. Sean Renaud. How's it going, everybody? And I'm kind of tired, but I'm trying to wake up here. I just did a chugged like a full glass of Emergen-C with B6 vitamins, and vitamin C. Took some vitamin D. Now I'm pounding some coffee and trying to muster up some energy for this stream. I mean, I'm not like totally that tired, but like yesterday I had like a long day, and so I'm sure I'll get going here in a few minutes once we get started. Mo Ivanglaive. So that is you. That's what you intended. Interesting. What was I going to say? I have no idea. I've got a couple of new custom kits that I programmed in the TD-6 that I'm going to be using today on a couple of songs. And mine going... Oh, I remember what I was going to do. I was going to read some comments on my YouTube and answer some questions, because I haven't had time to answer a lot of these, so I figured I would... Not that any of the people who asked the questions are even watching this, but they need to watch, because then they'll get the answers to all of their questions. But let me pull up my YouTube channel here and answer some of these questions that I've been getting. A lot of questions lately. Going to my studio, YouTube studio. And let's see what we got. Some of these are just assholes being jerk-offs, so I'm not going to read those. Some of them, though, are honest-to-goodness questions. Joe Casey asks on my Alesis Nitro 1960s custom kit programming tutorial, did you move your snare pad over to Tom 2? The Nitro Mesh only has one pad with rim sounds. Yes, I did. I talked about that in many, many videos. But yeah, that's all you have to do. Just move that pad over there, and you'll have you'll lose your snare second zone, obviously, but then you'll have the second zone to use for your ride cymbal on Tom 2, which is what I always like to do when I had my Nitro. So it was pretty good. Some comment on the... No, I'm not going to read that. That's kind of dumb. Oh, and that comment was by Joe Casey. Ray Chapsky says, on my $11 acoustic guitar pickup by LeVay review, will this fit the whole of a 3/4 size guitar? The whole diameter is 3.25 inches. I don't know. Probably. I actually lost that pickup somehow. I was looking for it desperately like a couple of weeks ago, and I just have no idea what happened to it. So I can't even... But I remember it like being kind of small. Like I had to move it towards the edge of the hole on the standard size acoustic, so it'll probably fit on that. I mean, the hole is probably the same size anyways. What else? Alpha Music says, congrats, got a new sub. Thanks, Alpha Music. And, okay, so this is from M4 Music. I'm not going to read all these because there's like a zillion of them. But M4 Music Kahamo, one day ago says, on my recording drums in Audacity video, I'm using a Behringer UMC 404 HD 4in/4 out, but on Audacity it only allows me to see 2 in and 2 out. Thanks in advance. That's because I assume you're using Windows, and that's what Windows does. It sucks for that. I mean, Windows is great for a lot of things, but for Audacity, this is why I don't suggest really using Audacity as like your main recording thing. I mean, if it's all you have, then that's fine. But like, it's not going to give you more than 2, even if you have, you know, like a zillion inputs on your audio interface, because Audacity doesn't use ASIO for its audio driver. It can't. Well, you can build it from source. Like if you have like if you're a Windows programmer, then you could build it from source and make it do that. And but it will show all 4. When I show all 4 of mine, that was when I was using Linux. It'll show all 4 in Linux, and I think it will in Mac as well, possibly. Although I've never tested that, I should test that. I should do some Mac Audacity tutorials. That might be good. I haven't done any Audacity tutorials in like forever. So what else we have here? On my E-Star drum set unboxing and review, Royumi says, asks, hey, I have a question. Do you think this would be a good starter set for beginners? Also, is there any other brand options besides this set that are in $200 to $350 price range, and I will be able to play any song like pop punk songs and go along? Yeah, I mean, it'll work for that. It's decent for what it is. However, if you really want to get the best drum set you could possibly get for $200 to $350, buy something used. I made a whole video about how to search for used drums on Craigslist, although I can't think of the name of, and eBay and all that stuff. I think it was just called like how to buy a used drum kit, something like that. Just search on my channel, because you could get way better stuff. Like, I mean, in that video, I found like several kits for like $200, $250, complete with like nice cymbals and stands and hardware and everything that were like right around where I lived. So that's the first. I mean, I highly recommend doing that first before buying any like cheap Amazon drum set. Although there are some decent ones. You know, you can buy, like, I mean, that E-Star set, I think, I still use that set to teach on. It's actually at the school where I teach. And it's good for that, you know. But if you, and I've since added low volume cymbals and mesh heads to it, so it's like quiet now. But if you really want something like good, like for cheap, just search Craigslist. You know, find a used Tama with some, you could probably, you know, it doesn't have to be amazing, but I'm sure you could find like a used Tama Swing Star, or, you know, Imperial Star, or like a Pearl Export or something, or, you know, Ludwig Rocker with like ZBT cymbals or B8 Pros or something like that. And like even that's going to kill, you know, some Chinese set with brass cymbals. You know, even if it is like B8s, like that's still going to be way better. So search for something like that first, you know, or, you know, pick up, you know, an Alesis Nitro Mesh or something. Alesis Nitro Mesh is what, $375? So it's like just slightly higher than your price range, and then you'll have like a lot of sounds to choose from, unless you're not looking for electronic. But yeah, so a lot of options out there. And then as far as new, if you really want something new, the E-Star is okay, but like I said, I would, you know, if you want to play music and, you know, if it's something other than for kids, then maybe get something that's going to have like a ride cymbal and a crash cymbal and some hi-hats. You know, like ddrum makes a really affordable starter package. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like really cheap. It's like $350 or something like that. That comes with everything, and it sounds pretty decent actually. It's not as cheap as the E-Star, which is like $200, which is crazy for what it is, because it actually is decent. You know, like I mean, it's decent. Free shipping too. Let's see. Joe asks about on the Alesis, or how to use the Alesis Nitro Mesh Kit with Ableton Live Video. Hello, I'm having problems with the hi-hat. Could you help? I'm using MIDI to USB cable. Everything from the else is working properly. I am from the else. No, I can't really. I mean, I don't know. You just have to look at it and figure it out. I'm sure it's some kind of MIDI note problem or something like that, sending the wrong bit of data or something there somewhere. But in a comment like that, I really can't help. Okay, I'll read a couple more, and then I'll get into some of you guys are asking some questions there in the comments, so I'll get onto those, or in the chat, I mean. Klon Yongko, in my PTE D06 Pile tabletop drum set review, he says, you mentioned you're getting pedals for this unit because you're not using the stock ones. May I know which kind of pedal you are going to replace it with? Well, what I ended up doing with that was getting some Rock Band pedals from a suggestion from one of the commenters, and I had to rewire them a bit to make them work. But those ended up working the best, actually, compared to everything else, because basically you can't use a real trigger. You have to use switch-type pedals, and they don't have two separate inputs. It's one input, and they're both wired like in series, and so you have to like, you know, take a cable and splice it. But the Rock Band pedals are perfect for those things because they're big and they're, you know, much better than the little ones that it comes with, and they're cheap. You know, you don't have to like spend a ton of money on pedals. And I ended up giving that whole thing away to my friend Jake, who has it in North Carolina. So I gave him the whole thing with the pedals and everything just because I needed to get rid of some crap. Okay, so let's check out the chat here. Justin Chu says, hey, I'm currently in the midst of converting my drums to E-Kit, and I'm having trouble with the cymbals. I'm not so sure what cymbals are cost-effective and is able to convert it on an E-cymbal. The most cost-effective cymbals and the like that are freaking awesome are these lemon cymbals. These things are great. Like, I mean, just, you know, go on YouTube and search lemon cymbals. I'm using a lemon ride and 2 lemon crashes. Excuse me. I don't like the lemon hi-hats because they bounce too much, although they do work fairly well. But I'm still using Roland hi-hats here. But everything else is lemon. And these things are cheap as frack. Like, super cheap. You have to order them on Alibaba. But it's not hard to do. And they show up pretty quickly, considering they're coming from China. So, yeah, these things are great. The dual zone crashes. 3-zone ride. Very good. They trigger excellently. They trigger just as good as the Roland cymbals. Absolutely. Like, I have Roland cymbals too, and I have a Roland ride cymbal, and I still prefer this lemon ride over the Roland one, because the Roland one's smaller, even though the Roland one works really well too. My only criticism of these are the bounciness of them, and that has to do with like the rubber that's in the middle that they attach to. And on the crashes, it's kind of fine. And even on the ride can be a little annoying sometimes because you see how it's like boing when you hit it. But the hi-hat is like unplayable. It's so bouncy. It's really, really difficult to play the hi-hats. The Roland one's like when it's closed, see, it's like a real hi-hat. It's way better. So if you can find a Roland VH-11 used, like I did, I got a really great deal on this, and it's really, really nice. Like Roland VH-11 hi-hat is great. And I think the VH-10s and the VH-12s are probably just as good too. I have another drink of coffee. I'm starting to wake up now. All right, let's talk about some merch. So you can go to anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com and pick up some Demonic Sweaters merch. Here's Can You Draw Me on CD. This is only $7, and it's professionally made CD, not a CDR. The real deal, even though it comes in this Echo, wallet type thing, but it's not like really crappy or anything. It's pretty nice. And then we have Minnesota As the Sun Rises Deluxe Edition on Digipack. And this is my other project. Very proud of this release. I play all acoustic drums on here, and I played all the instruments, and it's kind of a reworking of the original As the Sun Rises that I released the previous year, but this one's much better. So you can pick this one up for $10. You can also pick up Minnesota self-titled LP on 180-gram vinyl. Sorry, it's kind of picking up the green screen there a little bit. And this one's $10, which is an incredible deal. And also at anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com, I forgot to... How can I do this? Hold on, let me add something here so you guys can see this. Add brow... No, that's not what I want. What do I want? Window capture, here we go. Wait, hold on, let me close some crap so I get the right one. Window capture. Here we go. Okay, so the Drumless Library by me, which is all the songs that you hear on these streams right here. Right now there's 35 songs. For $15, you can download this and have all these songs to play drums to, which is a lot of songs. It's only $15. There's 35 right now. But if you purchase the full-length version, you'll get all 35 of those songs, plus every time I add more content, you get all of that for free. So definitely check this one out. I would love to see you guys posting some of these on your social media and all that stuff, because that would be really cool, really flattering too. But the way that it works is every song has, you can see here the title, and it also has the time signature, 4/4, followed by the BPM. So what you do is you open up whatever DAW that you use, digital audio workstation, set it to that BPM and time signature, and then just drag and drop that, that file into there, and then it'll match up to your DAW. So you can turn on a click track, or you can, speed it up and slow it down using your time stretch and all that stuff if you need to. So made it as easy as I could. And I also, when I updated it the other day, I fixed a couple of things. There were some, because, there's a lot of crap here. So I had a couple of issues with some of the songs. Like one of them, Human Modification Systems, Inc. For some reason, when I rendered the drumless version, when that synth, and you've probably noticed it if you've been paying attention on my streams, when that synth, the first synth lead comes in, it sounded insane. Like, it didn't sound right. It was like, like it had this like crazy, like, I don't know what happened to it, but it just sounded crazy. And so I went back in and I redid that and fixed it. And then I also fixed some of them that were a little, I can't remember which ones, but there were a couple that were a little bit off of the BPM. So I had to warp those and fix them because they were created in other DAWs. So I fixed those also. Everything should be working now. And so if you downloaded it like the first time, then maybe you should re-download it. Well, you should re-download it again anyways, because you'll get all the extra songs. When I first uploaded it, there was only 25 songs, and now there's 35. So lots of stuff to play to. Let's get this off of here. Can I just get rid of this? Let's get rid of this completely. Okay. Another smiley face shirt. Just picked this one up yesterday. And this one actually is like one of my favorites. Happy Club, join us. It's so strange. Like, I don't know. Like, one of my students, a couple of months ago, came in wearing this smiley face necklace. Like, it was like a silver necklace Like it is. What was funny about it is it looked like a pretty nice necklace, which you would expect to see like a piece of jewelry or something, but it just had this silver smiley face on it, and I just thought it was like really cool. And then I started like, for some reason just getting really obsessed with smiley faces. And then now I'm seeing smiley face crap all over the place. Like every time I go to a store now, there's like a million smiley face shirts like everywhere. Like it's so weird how that happens. Like when you start paying attention to something, suddenly it starts popping up everywhere you go. Oh, and Justin, let's see. I've also watched your tutorials on how to DIY the drum triggers, and it really helped. Thanks. I'm glad it helped. So why don't we play a song using some of these triggers? Also, let me mention a couple other things too here. And I'm going to turn on my advanced scene switcher before I forget, because I always forget to do that in the start of the stream, and then I look like a moron and I have to stop. So the camera's going to start switching on its own. I switch back to the ddrum red shot on the snare because everything else sucks. Like, I don't know why, but these cheap $20 triggers are the best triggers you can buy, like for external triggers. Everything else sucks. Like, they don't totally suck, but they just don't work as good as these. And so the only drawback is you only have a single zone. But I would much rather have one single zone that works perfectly every time than a dual zone that mistriggers sometimes and misfires sometimes. Like, that's really, really annoying. Like, I have the Roland RT30 HR right here, and I used it before, and it's okay. Like, it works all right, but sometimes it just doesn't. Like, it will just miss, or like, and all the other triggers that I've tried, external triggers, internal triggers are a different story, and some people might ask, like, why don't I use internal triggers? But that's because I don't want to modify these drums at all. Like, I like having the ability to just take everything off and turn it back to an acoustic set, because I really like the way this set sounds acoustically too. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, nothing works as good as these red shots on the snares and toms. The red shots suck on the kick drum. I actually did a full blog post on demonicsweaters.com, and I'm going to make a video about this too. But for the kick drum, I have to make my own, because nothing else works as good as the ones that I make. I've tried like every single kick drum trigger, external trigger on the market, and the ones I make just work way better. So anyway, just wanted to talk about that real quick. The red shots, if you want reliable toms and snare drum triggers, red shots are the best. Anyway, let's go ahead and play a song. I'm going to do Sunset Park, because I wasn't real happy with all the versions that I did the last time. And this is one of the newer ones on the Drumless library, so I'm going to start off with this one. And this is a new kit that I programmed on the TD-6. I called this one Noise. Because it's just kind of noise. It's like, I don't know, nothing like over the top or crazy. But it sounds nice. Sean Renaud says, I'm going to start a pessimist club, but it probably won't work. Maybe. Actually, I think that already exists. That's like the rest of the internet. Anyway, here we go. You hear me in the left now, but that's normal because I switched to stereo mode. But here we go. This is Sunset Park. Hopefully I don't screw it up too badly. Oops, cut it off too early at the end. Oh, I can fade that out in the edit. Killing it, says Raider FPV. Thanks, Brian. I really appreciate it. I did screw up a few times. I might do that one again later. I still like that one. Still is. I hadn't played it in so many years, and now when I come back to it, I'm like, I struggle. I struggle with the feel. It's just got that feel. That feel, man. It's got that feel. Future. Hello, Future. I like saying that. Hello, Future. Okay, so anyway, that was Sunset Park off of the album Turn of the Scrocked, which came out in, when did that come out? 2018, I think. I need more coffee. Now I have to pee really bad, but I'm going to hold it for a while so I don't have to go away just yet. Moaven Glaive says I like that one. Thanks, Moaven Glaive. I just saw, speaking of Jerry Lewis, I saw that old clip of Martin Short doing Jerry Lewis on the Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL. It was so funny. He does him so well. I haven't seen that Martin Short, Steve Martin show yet on the Murder something show on Hulu. I want to watch that because those two guys are so funny. Great stuff. Watched the new Candyman movie the other day. That was great. I was super impressed with it. I love the original one, but I really think it captured the vibe of the original one. And it was creepy. Like, it was actually creepier than I thought it would be. My friend Chad told me it wasn't scary at all, and I was like, I'm never scared by movies. And I still wasn't scared by this one, but it was scary. Like, I can tell, like, what's scary and what's not scary. It definitely had, like, the sound design and everything definitely gave you, like, a really uncomfortable vibe throughout the whole movie. And how good a drummer are you, says Future. I don't know. I'm the best ever, man. I'm the greatest drummer to ever live. No, I don't know. I mean, good enough. Good enough to do this. Okay, let's do... Anyway, Candyman. Yeah, it was really good. If you like horror. That's basically all I watch are horror films. I really liked Candyman. I really loved Malignant. I was talking about that the last stream, I think. That was a really fun horror film. Those clouds slowly moving in the background, trippy. Yeah, I have the green screen even on the overhead shot, but there's no green screen behind me there. But when the lights hit just right colors, then you still get the effect. So that's pretty cool. All right. Oh, here's another new kit I programmed, but though I don't have anything to use this in, but I could give you guys a little example. It's the Bonzo, John Bonham type kit. Pretty cool. Of course, it's not going to sound exactly like him, but I think it sounds pretty good, though. Oh, another thing that I fixed that I'm really happy about is my hi-hat bounciness. Remember how before, like, when I would try to do stuff with my hi-hat foot, my hi-hat's, like, flopping all over the place and bouncing? And I thought it was because of the uneven floor, but really it wasn't that. It was because I had my module clamped to my hi-hat stand, and I guess that weight, making the uneven balance of the weight, was making it really unstable. So I put the module on its own stand. I kind of rigged up the bottom half of an old snare stand and then this module clamp and put that together. And now my hi-hat's really stable. I can even do that. Anyway, let's do another song. And of course, you guys are welcome to request songs from the Drumless library. When I say request, I mean my songs. I don't do covers. But let's do... Oh, here's another new one. Did I show you guys this one already? This is Antimatter. I made this one for the song Antimatter Is, which I didn't have last week when I played it. But it fits in there much better. And actually, this kit fits in a couple other songs, too. So I'm going to use it in a couple others. Oh, I know which one I'm going to do next, though. I'm going to use the noise kit again, and I'm going to play Sai Moon, because that one fits in there. So let's do that. Here we go, Sai Moon. Nice short little ditty, Sai Moon. And that one is on In Depth, I think. I think it's on In Depth. I've been thinking, I was like, I need to start making notes of what songs are on what albums, because I always forget. And then I sound like an idiot saying it's on this album, then you guys go look for it, and it's not really there. But yeah, I should play some more songs, because we've already been on here 42 minutes, and I've only played 2 songs. So let's move on. Let's do... it's getting hard to think of ones that I haven't done the last couple of weeks, because I do them all. But there's a lot here. Oh, Ghost Image. I didn't do that last week. Let's do Ghost Image. All right, this one's fun to play. This one's in 6/8. 6/4. Is it 6/4 or 6/8? I can't remember how I... Where is it? I just saw it. 6/4. It's actually in 6/4. Okay, so here we go. Ghost Image. This is off of Polybius. All right, yeah, that was Ghost Image off of 2017's Polybius. That one I do remember what album it's on. And yeah, there's if you want to see the original version when I recorded that song, it's actually on YouTube, and I played acoustic drums. A lot of these actually were acoustic drums on the recordings, but live I use the electronic just because it's easier to do the streams with the electronic. And plus, I don't have anywhere to play my acoustics right now. Let's see. Raider says, I need to do that too on my TD-27. It's always rocking my hi-hat around. It sways a lot when I'm playing. Yeah, that's now I'm never going to attach a drum module to the hi-hat stand again. It's just not a good idea, I've realized. I used to think it was cool because I had one less stand, but actually that song that I just played, because I do a lot of hi-hat splashes in there, I couldn't even do that before because like it was just rocking so much. It's so much better. Yeah, way, way better. Alok Shrivasta says, hi, I'm a beginner. I really appreciate your drumming and enjoy watching your videos. Thanks, Alok. I really appreciate you being here and leaving a comment. That really means a lot. Okay, let's move on. Anybody have any requests of anything you want to hear me do off the Drumless Library? Feel free to shout it out in the chat. But if not, I'm just going to keep picking them. So, how about, you already did Saibot. Let's see. How about Triumph? Let's do that one. Haven't done that one in a while, I don't think. So here we go. This one's called Triumph, and this one is off of In Depth. Another chiptune type song. All right, that was Triumph off of In Depth, and I think it's the first song on In Depth actually. And that one too. A lot of these, like if you're curious, you know, a lot of these they have old like original versions on YouTube. And a lot of times what I would do is when I record the actual drum track to the song, I would record the video at the same time. So a lot of times on the older, on pretty much everything that I have a video for, like you're seeing the actual recording of me doing the drum track live as I'm doing it. Because a lot of times it's just how I do it. I don't know, it's fun. I like to record, when I record too, I like to do the drum track straight through. Like I don't like to, you know, punch in, and although sometimes I have, but I prefer to do it from beginning to end all the way through. It's my favorite way to do it. Okay, so what's next? Let's do Antimatter Is. Let's do it. I have a new kit for it. And this kit, I think, is one of the nicest sounding ones I put on the TD-6 so far. Sounds, I mean, it sounds really cool in the song. And the thing is, with a lot of the Roland kits, I've noticed, like this snare, like when you hear it like on its own, it sounds kind of weird. But when we hear it in music, it actually sounds really good. And I think that's the case with a lot of Roland module sounds. Like, and I think that's why some people get turned off by them. Like when they hear them on their own, they're like, yeah, like that's like strange sounding. It sounds like kind of really processed. And that does sound really processed. But it works. You'll hear it in the song. It sounds good. So here we go. This is Antimatter Is off of Turn of the Scroct.
Exact
All right, that was Antimatter Is off of Turn of the Scrocked. That was a lot of fun. I love playing that song. And what else? There was something I was thinking while I was playing that, and then I was just thinking about. Have you guys watched the show Goliath on Amazon Prime? I like that show, and actually, it's the last season. It just came out, so I've been binge watching that the past few nights, and it's really good if you like the show. I know it's pretty random, but that one is really good. I really like the newest season a lot so far. But Moave and Glaive has got to go. I enjoy these live sessions. Nice work. Thank you. I enjoy playing them. Thanks for coming on, chatting, hanging out. Let's see. What should we do next? I should probably move that kick drum over for the next stream because it's kind of under the chat. Or maybe I can resize that chat. Let me see. Can I do that? Front and kick. What happens here if I do this? Actually, no, don't want to do that. I have to go to the bathroom, guys. I need to put the screen on here for a second and go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I have to pee so bad. I shouldn't have chugged all that coffee and vitamins before I started. Here we go. I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes. Okay, that's not gonna work. Need to turn off the scene switcher. Okay, let's try this again. This thing, I need to figure out a better system for this. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, here we go. And I'll be right back. Welcome to another Demonic Sweaters live stream. We're going to get started here in a little bit, but before we do, be sure to check out my record label, which is anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. This is the best way to support what I do here on this channel. You can go there and pick up something by Demonic Sweaters or Manasota or basically anything on the entire label. We sell CDs, vinyl, t-shirts, and lots of cool merch that you can check out there. So that's anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. Oh, by the way, did you know that I teach drum lessons? If you're interested in learning more about drum lessons, message me on Instagram at demonic_sweaters. Did you know that almost all of Demonic Sweaters music is available on all the streaming services? You can check it out there if you don't want to buy something. By the way, have you subscribed yet? Please do. Do you want to try to play drums to some of these songs by yourself? You can pick up drumless. All right, I'm back. Thanks for that. Thanks for holding, everybody. Oh, another thing. I always say that a lot. Another thing. I got a new penguin hat. Like the penguin hat? I like it. I like penguin stuff. I ordered a new drum throne. This one I'm sitting on is a Gibraltar, and it's okay. It's not bad. But doing all these streams for like hours at a time, I realized my butt kind of hurts afterwards. So I ordered a better throne. I was going to get a pork pie. I used to have a pork pie throne. And they're nice, but they're really expensive. Like, I was like, man, I don't really want to spend $275 or $300. I forget how much they are, but they're a lot of money. They're not cheap at all. I was like, I'm not going to spend that much money on a throne. So I ordered ddrum. It looks like exactly like a pork pie throne. I don't know if it's as good, but it looks just like one. I ordered one of those. It's a ddrum M Fat, and it's got the same kind of top on it, it looks like, and everything. It's not here yet. It's supposed to be here today. I was hoping it would be here before the stream, but it didn't show up yet, so I'm just using the old one. But I'll do a proper video on that once I get it. But it looks really cool, and it's like a lot cheaper. It's like $150, something like that, 100 and something, under 200. So yeah, looking forward to getting that. Also, I don't know if you guys remember the Avatar drum pad thing that I reviewed. That thing's pretty cool, and they're sending me a full drum kit. Like, they make a full electronic drum kit, Avatar HXW. And I'm actually having it delivered to my school, and I'm going to do the video over there. But I'm going to do a full review of that, maybe get, hopefully, I don't know if they'll be around, like, depending on when it shows up, but maybe I'll try to get one of my students to help me put it together. I've been trying to draft, a couple of them to help me do that and maybe be in the video if they want to. But I don't know yet. We'll see. Because they all have school now, too, so they barely have any time. And I know there's a couple other things. Oh, I'm switching back to Android. Well, at least I'm going to try it. And Brian Rader, if you're still watching, I know we talked about this a bit. But I was, I have an iPhone 11, and I really like it. But my problem with iPhones is I find them boring. Like, they're never different. Like, since the iPhone X, they've all looked, like, aside from, like, little changes, and yes, I know there's, like, spec improvements and things like that, but I just find them to be boring. And so I saw the Galaxy Flip 3, and I thought that was a really neat looking phone. And I checked one out, and I thought it was really cool. And they're offering this thing where you could do like 21 days for free to see if you like it. And if you like it, you keep it. If not, you send it back and get your money back. So I was like, I'll try that. So I'm going to check out the Galaxy Z Flip 3, and I'm excited about it. Like, I've watched like a million videos. It looks like a really cool phone. The camera looks great on it and everything. It looks pretty cool. So stoked about that. The only thing is Apple, they lock you into their ecosystem. I have the Apple Watch. I have an Apple Card. I have like all this Apple crap that I need to phase out of my life if I switch over. But it's not that big a deal. They make alternatives for all that stuff for Android, so I'll figure it out. Anyway, Band Pat says, I got a question. I'm working on a conversion kit for my Elisa's command module, and I did the snare already with the Roland RT30HR, and it has a huge problem with triggering several times every hit. Well, I don't know anything about the command module, but the Nitro module is terrible for conversions because of that very reason. Because the Nitro doesn't have any, like, it's missing a lot of settings that you need. Like, it's missing mask time, it's missing scan time. I think all it has is like crosstalk and retrigger and sensitivity. I think that's all that's in there. I don't know if you have those settings in the command, but if you have mask time, is it mask time? Yeah, mask time is the one you really want to have for that particular problem, and retrigger. But between those two, you don't want to set the retrigger up too high because it'll cancel out hits you mean to do. But mask time tends to work a little bit better for retrigger problems. However, another thing, if it doesn't have those settings, what you can do to get it to work probably, and what I was able to do when I still use the Nitro module, is stuff the drums. Stuff the drums full of something, like foam. I mean, I used paper towels. I just bought like a huge, bulk pack of cheap paper towels and just, stuffed them full of the drums. So, and put mesh heads. Either use no bottom heads at all, or if you do have bottom heads, preferably cut a hole in them so air can go through, or use a mesh bottom head. I mean, you could cut a big hole. That's actually just as good as using a mesh bottom head. It's cheaper too. But stuffing them full of something, paper towels really helped, because it's those extra vibrations that cause the retriggering. But unfortunately, on those Elisa's modules, there's not a whole lot you can do because they're just lacking the settings. That's one of the main reasons why I prefer to use Roland modules, because they have a lot of fine-tuning settings in them to make... Like, I haven't had a single bad trigger today. I've messed up a few times, but I haven't had a single, like, mistrigger or double trigger that I've heard, like, while I've been playing today. Mainly because of the triggers that I'm using and the module itself. The RT30, it does have some. It's not a perfect trigger. I was talking about that earlier. I have one laying down here, and I prefer the red shot to the RT30. Even though it's single zone, it just triggers better. It has a more reliable sensor in it, I think. Which is weird. You'd think Roland would make the best ones, but there's a few things about the Roland one I don't like. One, I hate that it's all plastic. Like, that seems kind of crappy, especially for a trigger that's like almost $100. Two, I don't like this thumb screw, because that thing can come loose, and even if you get it set really, really well, after you play for like, 25, 30 minutes or something, it starts to come loose, and then all your trigger settings just go to crap. And then if you don't realize that that's the problem, then you'll start messing with your module, and then you'll screw everything up. Like, so these things, they're not the greatest, The red shots, I think, are the best, too, because they actually screw into the lug of the drum, so there's no possible way these things can come loose. And also, depending on the tension you have on that lug, adjust the pressure of the trigger to the head, and it just seems to be the best idea out there for external triggers. Like, they just work really, really well. The bass drum one, like I said, doesn't work so well, but mainly that's because it's a different shaped trigger, and the piece of metal is like really long, and it tends to bounce, so that's not very good. I also have a Pintec RS5 sitting over there, and I plan on doing something. Actually, I'm going to redo my kick trigger with that, because essentially that's all I did. It's basically the same kind of thing. It's like a piezo stuck here, and it's on the head itself. So I plan on doing something like that with that RS5, so it looks a little bit better than the one I made, and hopefully it'll work as good. But we'll see. Let's see. Bandy Pat says, yeah, I ended up stuffing it with the feeling of an old pillow. The command has all those settings, but the difference made is little to none. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe they just don't do much. Maybe you should check to see if there's a firmware update, because that's the case with the TD-6. Like, the TD-6, it works much better after the firmware update. So there might be a firmware update. I would check that. You could also see if it's as bad, like if you use like software, like a VST, see if it reacts as bad through there than it does, like, if you're just using the module. Even though you're going through the module to the VST, but sometimes there's a difference, I've noticed. Like, sometimes you'll notice like a bunch of double triggering on a snare if you're using the module, and then you load up a VST, and it's smart enough to figure it out and filter it out of there. So that might be an option too. Let's see. And I have actually, I talked about this last time too. I have Superior Drummer 3 on here too, and I haven't even really used it that much yet. I'm going to. I will soon. I have to schedule some time. I might skip the stream next week and then work on that and queue up some Minnesota songs, and maybe do a Minnesota stream in like 2 weeks with Superior Drummer 3. So maybe I'll do that. Let's see. Jake K, it's taken off. Catch the stream later. Okay, no problem, Jake. Bandypad, I've actually looked for a firmware update for it. Seems the only module Alesis updates is their Strike. The Strike module sounds really good, in my opinion. I hadn't actually checked it out in depth until recently, and I almost bought one because that thing sounds great, actually. Like, to me, it sounds better than the TD-50. And I know that's saying a lot, but it really sounds good. Like, if you watch Drum Tech's videos with it, it sounds shockingly good. And I think it has, well, actually, I've never used it, and that's actually what made me afraid, because there's a seller on Reverb right now that has like a bunch of B-stock Strike modules that are only like $475. And I know $475 is quite a bit of money, but that's a lot cheaper than they are new, and they're just B-stocks. They're not even like used. They're just like floor models or whatever, and they're all like with warranty and everything still. And I was tempted. I was like, but I bought Superior Drummer instead. But I don't know. And sometimes I'm like, should I have bought that module? But I don't know. I'm kind of glad I went with Superior Drummer, because I don't have to change anything here. I still have my setup that I'm using. But if I want like high fidelity, realistic sounding drum samples, I have them in Superior Drummer 3. Anyway, that's off topic. But yeah, the Strike, maybe consider upgrading your module. You could, I'm not saying buy the Strike. You could buy the Strike, but maybe that won't be any better. I don't know, for conversions. you could get a TD-6 for very cheap. These things pop up all the time for like $150, $200. TD-11s too. I've noticed a lot of TD-11s out there, and those sound decent. They don't have as many sounds in them, but they sound pretty good. And those pop up for like $250, $249, something like that. A little bit more than the TD-6. The TD-5, that was the one I gave away. Was that the one I gave away for my contest? But the TD-5 sounds surprisingly great, and it's really old. It's like from the 90s, but I swear that TD-5, it sounds better than it sounds way better than the Alesis Nitro, in my opinion. It's crazy how good it sounds. It sounds even better than some of the sounds in here, and it's older. Like, there's something really, really good about the TD-5, and it's tiny, and it has, like, I don't know. It has all the settings in it you need. It's easy to use. That's a great one to look for. Sometimes I've seen those go as low as $80, like, which is crazy cheap. There's a bunch of cheap, I've never used a Yamaha drum module, so I'm not really suggesting to try one, but if you feel like experimenting, I see like the DT Express module for like under $100 constantly. So I don't know. There's lots of stuff out there you can play with. Clyde Frog 93X says, I have an Alesis DM10. I'm not sure if I love it yet. Mostly play rock band with it. I need to start playing with the real kit. The DM10, I've heard some decent sounds out of it. It's one of their older. That was their top of the line module before the strike, was the DM10. And it's a little old, and it's kind of dated sounding, but I think the sounds are probably comparable to the TD-6 as far as quality goes. And I think that the DM10, it's one of those modules that was rebranded by like a ton of companies. Like I know the Pearl Red Box is the same exact module as the DM10, except it had some different features to it. But I've been curious about those myself, so you should play with it and see how you like it. I think the DM10 maybe it has like some of those fine tuning features in it and stuff too, and I know it has faders on it and some professional things. And you could get anything if you play with the sounds. Like the TD-6, if you use the stock sounds that you get it when you turn it on, it sounds like crap. So you have to play with things. I'm really happy with the sounds I get out of the TD-6, but if I didn't ever change any of the sounds in it or the settings, then I would be like, ugh, sounds terrible. I made a couple, here's another one that I did. I made like a jazz kit. And that's way better than the jazz set that it comes in, the stock one that it comes with, I think. Anyway, let's do another song. And if anybody has any questions or something, feel free to post them in the chat while I'm playing. And feel free to post requests too off the Drumless Library. Once again, if you were just tuning in, the Drumless Library is at anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. You can download all these songs that I play on these streams for $15 for 35 songs, all drumless, so you can drop them in your DAW. They have the BPM, the time signatures all listed. You can play them, play your own versions and all that good stuff. So check that out. There's also lots of music there you can get for a very low price. You can also stream Demonic Sweaters on all the streaming services, but the Drumless Library is only at antillrecordings.bandcamp.com. Anyway, let's see what song. I just started one on accident. What should we do here? How about Taurus? That's a fun one. Let's do that. Should I use the Bonzo kit in Taurus? That might work. Yeah, sure, I'll try it. This is the John Bonham Bonzo type kit, or it's called Bonzo that I named. I'm going to try that in this song Taurus. We'll see how it sounds. right, that was Taurus off of Driving Songs. That one definitely gets my adrenaline going. Whew! Driving kind of Iron Maiden type jam. And obviously off of Driving Songs, that was pretty intentional. Bandit Pat says, I'm hoping to get the Lemon hi-hat controller, or I'm hoping the Lemon hi-hat controller works when it comes in. Go eDrum refused to ship to me their Alesis one because they claim my module is incompatible. Oh, interesting. You know, you could also try just using the original pedal, you know, and just put a regular, you know, you could use the original pedal, and if you, or do you have the original pedal? Maybe you don't. But you could get like a, you know, the original pedal if you don't have one, probably for cheap, you know, and just put a hi-hat on a stand, you know, not a hi-hat stand, but just a, you know, cymbal stand or a boom arm coming off of your crash stand or something. If the Go eDrum, or if the Lemon controller doesn't work, that's another option. I've done something like that before, and actually it works pretty nice. You don't have to have, you know, a hi-hat on a hi-hat stand controller. Like Luke from eDrum Workshop, he doesn't, his is just a, I mean, it looks like he's using one on a stand, but he's not. If you really look at it, he's got like an FD7, I think, on the ground, and then his hi-hats are stationary. So there's other ways. Bandit Pat says, I have the original pedal and have the hi-hat stand just sitting there for like a month. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, if that doesn't work, just use the original pedal. I'm sure you could figure something else out that works just as well. So there's a lot of options. Let's see, what should we do now? How about, oh, you know what I haven't done in a long time? Is 11. Let's do that. Which kit do I use in there? I believe I use, what's that one called? Wait a second, I'm a little lost. What was I? Oh, 80 stalls, that's what I used in there. Lots of chinas and splashes and stackers in this one. Okay, so let's do 11. This is off of In Depth as well. And this is a long one, so get ready. And it's slow, but I think it's interesting. It's an 11/8 time signature. So here we go. Completely train wrecked the beginning there. Let's start that again. I was drinking coffee and it just screwed me up. All right, let's do it again. Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to have to come back to that one later. I forgot to start the scene switcher again. Ah. I need, like, my desktop background just needs to say start automatic scene switcher, like huge, so I never forget that. All right, let's do this. We'll come back to that one. I don't want to start it like for the third time in a row. Let's do a different one, and then we'll come back to 11. Okay, Helicopter Cop. Let's see this one. I'm feeling daring because I always fuck this one up. But let's try it. Which kit should I use? Maybe I'll try the. Will that work there? Oh wait, no, I need a stacker over here. Okay, here we go. Helicopter Cop. Okay. That was Helicopter Cop. One of these days I'll be able to play that without screwing up. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. I think it was better than the other attempts. But that one's off of Polybius. And it's hard, for some reason, it's harder to play on electronic drums than acoustic drums. Acoustic drums, it's like, I don't know, certain things are harder and certain things are easier. And that one's easier on acoustic drums. So Mike Stein says, how's everybody feel about the Mimic? Just blew more than I wanted it to on it. Wait, I just blew more than I wanted to on it. It does trigger nice. I mean, I haven't ever played one, but I know a lot of people really like them, and I know they're expensive. And they sound good from what I've heard. They sound more like a VST, I think, more like Superior Drummer or, Easy Drummer or something like that. But it's weird how, Justin from 65 Drums brought up a good point on his that eMerge video that he did, the Pearl eMerge video. It's weird how Pearl released that module and then released like their flagship drum kit like later, like a year later, and didn't include that module. Like, it's really strange, like, that they decided to go with a different module. Like, I have no idea why they would do that. And I think the Mimic is Steven Slate, right? Or was that how you say it? Slate or whatever the guy's name is. They partnered with him on that. So it basically is VST, like, in the module, like a plugin. Which I've never used the Slate plugin. I've used Superior Drummer a little bit and Easy Drummer a little bit. But they definitely sound more realistic, I think, for sure. Like, I mean, it depends on what you want to do. Like, if you are going for realism, everybody says the Pearl Mimic is about the best that you can get for the realism. For me, I don't always want realism. I kind of like electronic drums that sound electronic a little bit, depending on what I'm doing. Like, for this stuff, I do. I like the electronicness of the drums. I think it kind of fits with what Demonic Sweaters is all about, just these kind of quirky, chiptune-y, not totally chiptunes, but there's definitely that element, and just kind of weirdness, electronic vibe to it. And I think electronic drum sounds really fit. Although, excuse me, all those Soto acoustic sounds, because I record a lot of it with acoustic, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But it's nice. I think it's nice. I'd play one if I had one. I would buy a bunch of modules if I had the time, because that was a problem. I mean, that's why I kind of got rid of a lot of the modules I had, because I just didn't have the time to spend on them. I barely have time to do this. Like, this is, it's crazy. Like, the past, like, since 2021, I've been so busy with just all this stuff that I do, and then I teach a lot now, so, which is great. It's not like I'm complaining. I am extremely grateful to be as busy as I am. Like, I literally have one day off a week, and that's yesterday. Like, every Monday I take off, but that's it. So Tuesdays I do this live stream. Wednesdays I usually try to work on another, like, actual YouTube video that's not live, although sometimes that doesn't happen because I have to prepare for drum lessons and do some other things. Like, if I'm recording, well, tomorrow I have to go to the dentist, and that's been happening a lot lately. But I'm still going to try and make a video tomorrow, even though I go to the dentist. So, and then Thursday I teach, Friday I teach, Saturday I teach, Sunday I teach, and then Monday I have, that's my day off. So, and then Tuesday's this day. But anyway, I don't know how I got into that from the the Pearl Mimic. But anyway, let's do another song. Anybody have any requests out there off the Drumless library? Have any requests off that library? Okay. I'll do one that I know everybody always wants me to do, which is Human Modification Systems, Inc. Here we go. All right, that was Human Modification Systems, Inc. off the latest album, 333. And I'll have to watch these back. I feel like I'm playing like crap today. But it was okay, I guess. All right, what do you guys want to hear? Anybody have a request of anything? How about... I feel like I need to take a break, I think, because I'm getting sick of all these songs. You guys must be too. Taurus, I already did. Rot, I haven't done, but I did it the past 2 weeks in a row. Sunset Park, I did crappily. Maybe I'll try that one again. Oh, I never got through 11, so let's do 11. Let's do 11, and then maybe that'll be all for today. It's already 3 o'clock. And let me get a drink of coffee here first. And maybe I think what I'll do It's like I was thinking maybe next week I'm going to take off and then work on Superior Drummer 3 and getting the Minnesota stuff together to play for you guys. That would be fun. So, anyway, let's go ahead and do 11 off of In Depth, and this will wrap it up for today. So, here we go. This is 11. Yep, that was 11 off of In Depth. And went pretty good that time. And good stream as always, says Mark. Thanks, Mark. And maybe I'll do another one. I don't know. I was feeling that one, so now I kind of want to keep playing. One more. Maybe I should take another stab at Sunset Park. I mean, I don't know how horrible my first one was. I know I kind of screwed up pretty bad a couple of times. What else did I do today? Return Home I didn't do. Megalithic Eyes I didn't do. Cosmo Boy I didn't do. Clean Money I didn't do. You're Not Really You I didn't do. Ghost Image I did do. 333 I haven't done. Close to Me. I haven't done that one a whole lot recently. Maybe I should do that one. That one's fun. All right. Let's do Close to Me. Okay, so here we go. Close to Me. This is also off the new album, 333. And don't forget to check out the drumless library on anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com. You can download all of these songs and play drums to them for $15. 35 songs with BPM and time signature all listed. And every time I update and add new songs, you'll get all those for free. So anyway, here we go. This is... What are we doing? Close to Me. That's right. Off of 333. Close to Me. All right, that was Close to Me off of the latest album, 333. And I feel like I'm getting warmed up now. I was going to stop, but maybe I'll keep going. I keep saying that. But maybe I should stop because I have a lot of things I need to do today, like laundry, put together a couch, and other crap. So maybe I will stop. Let's stop. Let's quit while I'm ahead. But anyway, thanks everybody for checking out the stream again. And like I said, next week I think I'm going to take next Tuesday off. I won't be streaming, and hopefully be back the week after that, excuse me, with a Minnesota stream. All different songs. And I just gave myself a lot of work to do. But that's okay. I pretty much have all those songs ready, I think, mostly for drumless versions. But if not, I'll put them together. And but I do have to configure some. The good thing about that, though, is like once I configure some songs in Easy Drummer, or not Easy Drummer, Superior Drummer 3, because all the Minnesota songs have the same drum sound. I don't have to change. I only have to make one, which I almost have already. I wasn't going to show it to you, but that'll screw everything up I have here. So I'm not going to do that yet. But not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that, whatever date that is, hopefully I'll be back with the Minnesota live stream. And I'll see you guys there. So thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to check out the Drumless library at anthillrecordings.bandcamp.com, as well as you can pick up some CDs there. We have Can You Draw Me on CD. We have Minnesota As the Sun Rises Deluxe Edition. This is mostly what I'll be playing on that stream. Stuff off of this. And yeah, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. So, anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys really soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.